So, with Halloween Kills, by the way, if you haven't already, go check out my review for Halloween Kills over on my Patreon, link in the description below. After that movie came out, I wanted to do a video right after talking about how Halloween might end with, well, Halloween Ends. But I decided to wait at least until the weekend was over so I could avoid spoilers because, yeah, this does involve this video to talk about it thoroughly is to talk about spoilers. So, yeah, if you haven't already seen Halloween Kills, you probably might get spoiled of some of the stuff that happens in Halloween Kills. Now, just forewarning you. So let's get started. So this is a video talking about my theories, which could be totally wrong, about Halloween Kills and how Halloween ends. Well, less about Halloween Kills, more about how Halloween will end. So Halloween Ends, the information we know so far, this came out right after the premiere, was that David Gordon Green confirmed that the next movie, Halloween Ends, will time skip to 4 years into the future. So we're going to do a 4-year time skip right after Halloween Kills. Which, yeah, it kind of makes sense because, in a weird way, I wasn't expecting 4 years. I was at least expecting a year to kind of coincide with the whole, yeah, it's been a year. But 4 years, I'm like, wow, really? But yeah, I was expecting at least Halloween Ends to go at least a 1 year time skip, not 4. Because yeah, there was no way they were going to do an entire trilogy and set it during one night. There was no way they were going to do that. So I was expecting for at least Halloween Ends a year time skip. But 4 year time skip? That's not what I was expecting. So, Halloween Ends is going to be interesting in that, there was a lot that happened in Halloween Kills. Obviously, talking about, some of the, basically the big one being is that now, Allison lost both of her parents because at the end, Karen was stabbed to death by Michael at the very end. Like, I was like, holy shit, they did that at the end. So now, the last two Strodes there are only two left. There are only two left, and that's, of course, Laurie and Allison are the last two Strodes. And I'm going to call it right out the gate that I think what's going to happen is that Michael will either kill Laurie and that will be left Allison to kill Michael, or Allison survives and Michael and Laurie die together. That's how I kind of envision it, is that Laurie will die fighting, Michael, and then Allison kills him finally, or they both die together as kind of like a classic homage to the Universal monster endings where the hero and the monster die together. Something of that nature. It's either going to be one of those two. I'd be shocked if Laurie survived the third movie, because I think, I think it would be a nice way to end the Laurie story arc, especially for this timeline, and I think it'd be a nice completion for Allison, I imagine, is probably going to be trained for those 4 years to how to fight Michael. I think that's going to be another big thing, because, yeah, I imagine now it's just her and her grandmother. Allison is probably learning a lot more from Laurie and training with her to, kind of just be a badass, just to be a badass with a gun. I mean, we did see glimpses of that in Halloween Kills, but I do think that this is going to play into a more major role once in that 4-year time skip. The other thing is that Haddonfield's probably going to be going through some major shit in that 4-year time skip. Also, by the way, just side note, I'm quite sure that we're going to see a slew of fan films set in that 4-year time skip, because I saw a lot of fan films that were like homages to Halloween Kills and supposed to be no. Our Halloween timeline is set in between the moments between Halloween and Halloween Kills, or in that 40-year time gap of Michael in that time. I've seen a lot of fan films not like that, but I'm not judging. I actually think it's really cool. So now, fan film creators, you now have a 4-year gap to tell Halloween stories with Michael Myers. Because we don't know if he got captured at the end. All we saw was he kills Karen, and then the film ends. Like, he just murders Karen, and then the film ends. So we don't know if the cops came in, caught him, or if Michael just fled the scene and is now, like, living in the shadows. But getting back to Haddonfield itself, Haddonfield has a lot of shit to deal with. Like, they accidentally murdered an innocent man, they formed a riot, and they're never going to celebrate Halloween again. How could they? I mean, I get it. The first time Michael killed was a fluke. Was like, yeah, it happened, and I'm pretty sure they probably didn't celebrate Halloween a little after that, and like, oh, it's been 40 years, that could happen. But not after this. Not after the killing spree Michael and the entire town went after. Also, I'd be shocked if the sheriff was still around, because he failed in every aspect to stop Michael. And to stop that, to stop that vigilante mob that led to someone's death and, basically led to other people's death along the way. That was the other thing, is that those mobs, like I said in my review on Patreon, was stat padding for Michael, because now he's even closer to beating, he's got one more movie to get out more kills to finally dethrone Jason. He's also going to have more movies than Jason by one. Anyway. So that's the other thing, is I imagine they're not going to celebrate Halloween, and Halloween itself will be like a lockdown. Like, it's kind of like just no one goes out at night. No one goes out at Halloween. There's no, Halloween is just not celebrated at all in Haddonfield after this event, after this night. The other thing is, I don't want them to explain what Michael is capable of, because they talk a lot about, like, they kind of make theories of, like, oh, every time Michael kills, he transcends and all that. I don't want them to explain, like, oh, Michael is, like, a supernatural being or something else. No, I don't need that. I just have it that Michael is just, like, just treat Michael like a force of nature, but he's still human. Like, that's what I really want to see, is to treat Michael like a force of nature, but keep it ambiguous. Like, yeah, he's still human, but maybe there's something more, but I don't want to know. It's kind of like the Joker. I don't care about the origin. But you love the Joker movie so much, Multi. Yeah, I do, because at the end of it, it's like, it was all kind of bullshit. Like, it's all like, did it happen like that or not? Like, that's what I like, is that it felt like, yeah, and also it's multiverse, so it feels like a what-if story anyway. But yeah, I don't need an explanation to what Michael is. I didn't care for it in the Thorn trilogy, so why should I care about it now? Anyway. But I do think also that Sheriff, I forget his name, not Brackett, but the other Sheriff is probably going to be, like, he's not in charge anymore. If I was the city council, I'd be like, you're done, dude. You caused a riot that got more people killed. And in a hospital, you couldn't stop that? You couldn't even, you didn't take this seriously from the beginning. What the great good fuck? Also, just a note, I think Laurie and Frank, the police officer that kept Michael alive on that Halloween night, I think they're going to be, in a relationship or married, and, I think that's just an outlier thought. They kind of built that were attracted to one another, but I think they might actually, cement the relationship and be maybe they've been married, or they are, in some kind of relationship. I don't know. That's just an outlier thought, because they did kind of hint at it in Halloween Kills. So, yeah. Just a few random ideas, but you guys tell me in the comments below, how do you think Halloween will end? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? And just comment below, let me know your theories are. And as always, if you want to see my Halloween Kills review, hit the link below to check out that link. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.